play. You know, I would wish I would always have the ball in my hand.
We've got breaking news out of the NFL where Browns quarterback Shedeur has been named the starter for the remainder of the season.
This 1 week of practice. So imagine, you know, what a full offseason look like. It get dangerous.
Champ Bailey, a former safety for the Denver Broncos, and he played with the University of Georgia, talking about the hiring of TODD MONKEN for Shedeur. And also, we're going to listen to TODD MONKEN talk about football and the offensive side of it right here on Sports Talk with B. Watts. Do me a favor. You got to do me a solid. Hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. Hit that notification button. It'll let you know whenever I go live or drop a video. And also share this video, hype this video. Anything that you do will be highly appreciated. And don't forget, join the membership. Join the membership if you're enjoying this broadcast. Let's get this show started. Let's go.
Girl, I wanna see you, but I'll see you later. There's too much going on, girl, just do me a favor. Girl, I know you love me, but you know I
can't. Champ Bailey was on a podcast talking about the hiring of TODD MONKEN, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, and what it means for Shedeur. But when you look at this hire, it is a high risk and an offensive gamble for the Cleveland Browns, because TODD MONKEN never been a head coach in the National Football League. So as you look at it, TODD MONKEN is best known as an offensive architect. His tenure as an offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens from 2021 to 2025 saw him modernize the team passing game, working closely with the quarterback, Lamar Jackson, to create a dynamic MVP level attack with the Baltimore Ravens. In addition to the NFL experience, MONKEN have coached at the college level, the University of Georgia, and he also was the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was a head coach for the Southern Miss in 2013 to 2015. MONKEN is a offensive guru. Cleveland hiring MONKEN signal a very specific organization philosophy. The Browns have long been desperate for a offensive-minded coach who can develop quarterbacks. MONKEN fit that mold of a short-term offensive expert capable of bringing out the best in his players. This hire appears less about building long-term culture. It talks about, and this hiring is about, short-term fixing the offensive side of the ball while improving the roster. Let's listen to a big-time safety for the University of Georgia, and he went on to have a good NFL career, Champ Bailey, talk about the hiring of TODD MONKEN. Champ Bailey.
This was news this morning, Champ. TODD MONKEN is the Browns head coach earlier. 2 national championships at Georgia as the OC. Knowing Shedeur, what do you make of the fit?
Man, look, this dude is one of the better offensive minds that we've seen in the game. He did it at the college level with my Bulldogs a few years back, won national championships. Then he goes to the Ravens and sort of reinvents how Lamar Jackson plays the game. Look, the guy's obviously an offensive genius. I want to see what he does with a true pocket passer like Shedeur. So, I think, as long as they get together and start going over what it means to play in his system, I see great things for Shedeur. He's obviously talented enough to play in the league. Now it's just taking this game to the next level.
That's Champ Bailey talking about the new hiring of their head coach of the Cleveland Browns, TODD MONKEN. And Shedeur can benefit from TODD MONKEN as an offensive coach. Now, it's going to be key. Also, how will TODD MONKEN continue to build his coaching staff? Also, it's been rumored that the defensive coordinator will not be returning. He don't have no interest because he felt like he should have been the head coach. And if he felt like that, you don't need him in the locker room with the players and the rest of the coaches, because he's going to be feeling some kind of way, especially if things go south. He probably come up and say, hey, they should have hired me anyway. So if he don't want to be there, Jim need to go on and move on, and Todd need to find him another defensive coordinator. That's just my take on that. But I think it's a good hire for the Cleveland Browns, especially on the offensive side. Somebody who knows the game, know how to develop quarterbacks. He developed the Georgia quarterbacks at Georgia, Stetson, who went on to get drafted by Sean McVay and the Los Angeles Rams. And he developed Lamar Jackson while at the Baltimore Ravens as the offense. And side note, as I looked up the information, Kirby Smart, a head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs, when Todd Monken was the offensive coordinator, Georgia Bulldogs 4-4. They 4-0. 4-0 in the playoffs. When Todd Monken was the offensive coordinator, 2 national championships. Since Todd Monken been with Baltimore, Kirby Smart is 1-3 in the playoffs. Take that with you today. Take that with you today. All right? Let's listen to Todd Monken talk football, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Todd Monken.
One thing when I got back in the NFL in Tampa, it really started to really elevate in terms of analytics, like to a level that I love, because I love information. And it went to like how teams won, like which teams made the playoffs, which teams literally had success, what led to the best records. First one was turning over. Creating turnovers, don't turn it over, right? We all know that. That's never changed. Everything being equal, right? Don't turn it over or create them. How are you going to be explosive? Touchdowns in the red zone, lost yardage plays, and then third down conversions. And what come up lately is QB off schedule explosives or QB off schedule plays. That led to, and there were other categories that were down here. One time it was rushing touchdowns in the red zone, which led to what? Touchdowns in the red zone. If you can run it in, you're going to be higher in this category. But it was like, if you stay within the model of what wins, then you ought to practice to this. Like, how are we going to practice get turnovers and not turning it over? What does that include in terms of the schemes you're running, in terms of lost yardage plays, turning people loose, getting your quarterback hit? Are you going to be a drop back team, put them more at risk, right? You're going to be more play action, you're going to protect. TDs in the red zone, you're going to work your ass off in the red zone, it being really good, right? Are you going to be creative in the red zone? You're just going to line up and run duo, hope like hell you're better. No, you better not do that. You better be creative. Lost yardage plays, right? Eliminate lost yardage plays, get you behind the sticks. Third down conversions, because if you're sure as hell not explosive, if you're not good on third downs, you're screwed, you're punting. Okay, or fourth downs, which is converting now. And then QBs off scheduled, explosives, because that's changed. Statues are out, athletes are in.
That's Todd Monken, the new head coach of the Cleveland Browns, getting ready to see can he unlock Shedeur Sanders. Look at here. This is going to be an exciting season for the Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders. I'm excited. Shedeur Sanders got a offensive-minded head coach that's been to work with him all offseason, all preseason, to see can Shedeur deliver on their promise. You remember that promise? I'm who you looking for. If you ain't trying to change your franchise, I ain't the one for you. We finna see this year in his second year. And oh yeah, by the way, just in case you thought I forgot, Todd Monken's getting a Pro Bowl quarterback. It is what it is. He getting a Pro Bowl quarterback in 2026. Look at here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Sports Talk with B. Watts. I'll be back later on about 5 o'clock p.m. I'll be dropping another video then, and also got a live show tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Come on back. I'm telling you, gonna have a good time tonight. All right? Until later on, peace.